Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer, Captain.
Hello. Welcome! It's Multiplex Loves Movies, number 65. We haven't been on the air for only 65 weeks. We've been doing this longer than that, but still, that's a lot of episodes. And Your List Sucks is even longer, so woo. All right, guys, welcome to the show. I am Tim. I'm the host. We will have a wonderful time tonight. It will be great, make happy. It'll be wonderful. Let's bring in producer extraordinaire first, Kaleb Koho. Caleb, how you doing?
Hi. Doing good. Watched a lot of movies in the last couple of days. This will be fun to talk about.
Yeah, I saw that you logged like an obscene amount of movies yesterday.
I watched like 8 movies yesterday, my dude.
This is awesome. Let's bring in avid movie fan, never has anything bad to say about them, Maggie Brzakala. Maggie, how are you?
I am good. I never say anything bad about movies ever. It's correct.
Or anything in general, frankly.
No, I'm never negative.
All right. And let's bring in the last guest tonight. Returning to the show, it's the man with the plan, Nick Twohig. What's the plan, Nick?
The plan. I didn't think about a plan.
It's fair. That's fair. Well, guys, welcome to the show. It's movie news time. Movie news show. There's actually some news this week. I was surprised. There's some good stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about it. You know what we're not going to talk about, though? The box office, because it doesn't exist.
What box office?
Koho messaged me and goes, dude. And I said, yeah, don't worry about it. I said once Crudes comes out, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it then. But for right now, there's no need to do that. But we are going to start off with a bang with the first story. I think 3 of the 4 of us actually have big opinions on this, and one doesn't care, I don't think. Fantastic Beasts 3. Johnny Depp is bye-bye. He filmed one scene and was paid $10 million and then was asked to leave the project, which he respectfully did. It seemed through his statement and through Warner Brothers' statement that there wasn't much huge negativity with it, but I mean, you can only imagine. I don't want to get into the whole like, oh, they keep Johnny Depp or they get rid of Johnny Depp, but they keep Amber Heard. Like, there's a lot we could dig into on the actual politics side of things with the two of them and what Warner Brothers is doing. But at the end of the day, Johnny Depp is asked to leave Fantastic Beasts 3. He did. And he made $10 million in the meantime doing it. So before we talk about any recasting stuff, I want to go to Maggie first. Maggie, what's your take? How do you feel about losing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald and the fact that he was paid $10 million to do so?
I'm so happy that he will not be in this franchise anymore. I know that Tim will tell you that he wasn't what brought down Fantastic Beasts 2, and I totally disagree. I thought he was terrible in that movie. So I'm very excited to not have him there. In terms of him getting paid $10 million, it is what it is. If you break a contract, you got to pay for it. So that's Warner Brothers paying for it. If they really wanted to not have him, they probably should have decided that earlier and fixed that $10 million thing. So that's on them. But I'm super excited to. I mean, it'll be a weird shift, I think, because obviously whoever they're gonna, well, not obviously, but hopefully whoever they get is gonna be like way better. And so there'll be like a weird shift there, but worth it, I think.
Koho, you're not the biggest fan of the wizarding world, but you saw these movies. What's your take on the whole situation? Did you like Johnny Depp in the movie?
So I didn't like Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, but I definitely didn't hate him. Like, I thought he was totally okay He was nowhere near what I thought was the worst part of those movies. And like I mean, him going doesn't break my heart, especially because he's got a $10 million paycheck to go with leaving. So like obviously he's not hurting over it. But you know, this just means he's free to go make Pirates of the Caribbean 6, and that's all I want in life. So you know, good riddance, I guess. I don't know. I have an idea, like I have a thought as to who should replace him, but I don't think they're gonna do it. And I would be very shocked if they did.
I don't hate Johnny Depp in that movie at all. People forget he's in the first one too. Like I saw everyone then be like, Johnny Depp removed from Fantastic Beasts 3. He played Grindelwald in the sequel. I'm like, motherfucker, he did it in the first one too. Like, where have you been? So I mean, I think from the beginning it should have been Colin Farrell. It should have been Colin Farrell from the beginning, and they should have had some other random person play Graves. I think Colin Farrell is like the best part of the first movie as Graves, but I wish that they would have just had him actually be Grindelwald somehow, figure it out. But they didn't. But yeah, like Koho said, I don't hate Johnny Depp in these movies. Like I thought he was fine. I thought everyone was fine. There's no performance in Crimes of Grindelwald that I loved. There's none that I hated. If I had to say loved, maybe I would give it to you to Redmayne. I think he's really good, but like
I really like Jude Law in the last one.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Jude Law was very good.
I thought he was great.
But yeah, I don't. It is what this isn't gonna like whatever. Nick, what do you think?
As long as they keep the guy who played Grimson. Fantastic. That's all I want.
Even though he like disappeared halfway through the movie and never showed back up.
The issue with these movies is not in the cast. It's not in the. It is 100% in the writing, and I am no expert on like how to write a movie well. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know who Grindelwald is. Like, I don't know what this dude's about. Maybe Johnny Depp's good for the role, but the fact is, like, we don't know what the role is because there's been a whole 2 movies, and I have no like motivation for why this character outside of like what's written on paper. None of it has been really explored well in movies. All of the performances outside of, I think Alison Sidle is really bad as Queenie, but outside of that, all the performances are fine. They're just not characters that are made to care about anyone. So recast, but like the first thing you got to do is sit down and be like, all right, who is Grindelwald? Why should anyone care that like he's doing bad things other than that he used to know Dumbledore and he doesn't like Muggles? Or he does like Muggles. See, I don't even know. Like,
yeah, I don't know either. I couldn't tell you. And I've seen both. I forget who. I think I was talking to Jacoby about this, where he said,
what did he say?
Where he said, I've seen these movies multiple times and I still retain nothing from them. And I'm like, hey, right here, I'm with you. Okay, so the next part of this, there is someone that Deadline is reporting is in talks. And so I will say that person. We'll each talk about how we feel about that person and then maybe someone that we were thinking about casting. So Deadline is reporting that Mads Mikkelsen is in talks to take over the role. I actually really like this. I think this is a really good choice. I think Mads Mikkelsen has the Grindelwald look that they're going for. I think I can picture him in the same look that they had Johnny Depp in. Like I can just picture that in my head. Maybe it's just because I just watched Casino Royale, but I really like him as a villain. And even in Doctor Strange, where his character is terribly underwritten, he's really good in the movie. So I'm all on board for Mads Mikkelsen. He's good in everything. Like everything I've seen him in, he's usually a highlight of the movie. So I'm on board with that. As far as someone though that I would have thought about casting, like I honestly don't even know. Like I just wish they would have found a way to make Farrell do it. That would have been so cool. Koho, you have someone that you were wanting to pitch. Who is it?
I wanted Colin Farrell. Like here's my thing. You could easily just have him change back. Like just it's easy. It's the easiest fix in the world. He just goes back to looking like Graves, but everyone knows that's Grindelwald. That's all you gotta do. It's an easy ass fix. No one fucking cares. Just make Colin Farrell be Grindelwald. Mads Mikkelsen's a great choice though. Like that makes me interested in seeing the third one. So I'll see him. I think I've never seen a bad Mads Mikkelsen performance. Like even when he's Caecilius, he's not bad. He just gets nothing to do.
Yeah. So
like I'm interested to see what he does as Wizard Hitler, I think is what Grindelwald's supposed to be. I don't know.
I guess maybe we don't know. According to Nick, we have no idea. Nick, what's your take on Mads Mikkelsen?
Again, great. Get the best actor in the world until you write this character better. Like it doesn't matter who you put in there because I also think Mads Mikkelsen is good in just about everything he's in. I think he's one of the best Bond villains. But Caecilius is forgettable, and Caecilius, no one cares. No one thinks today like, oh, Caecilius, that great villain from Doctor Strange, because he's not written very well, and it doesn't matter how good of a performer you put in there. So cool. Mads Mikkelsen is a good choice to replace Johnny Depp, but that's not where the problem lies.
Maggie. Nick.
I was gonna ask, did you want my
Do you have a fan casting that you would like?
I mean, no. Also, I don't think I was just gonna say I don't think you can go back to Colin Farrell for me personally, just because they feel like two totally different characters. It feels like Colin Farrell changes to Johnny Depp, and then it's just not the same character because Colin Farrell kind of gave it life and stuff, and Johnny Depp was just the non-magic. That's the only line I can ever think of. Is
the non-magic.
So yeah, I don't know, man. This franchise makes me sad.
The can't spells, Maggie. What isn't that it? Isn't it the
no
muggles?
spells? I think.
The no spells.
Can we call them cat? Can we just call them cat spells forever? Because that makes it sound like they're illiterate, not.
I know. I'm pretty sure that's the thing.
Is it actually? Oh wow, that shows how little I also retained from Fantastic Beasts.
Maggie, what's your take on the whole thing?
No, I would be super excited to see Mads Mikkelsen in the role. When you brought it up earlier, I could immediately picture him in the role, and I think that's what got me so excited, and I could really see him doing a good job and making it less weird. But I agree with Nick that it has to be written better for anyone to do well. In terms of picking somebody else, I don't know. I've been looking at a couple different lists, and Colin Farrell is on everyone's list. But I don't really see how that would necessarily work. Another favorite is Benedict Cumberbatch, which I think would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't buy that at all.
No thanks.
All these people are, I think, almost too famous to step into this role. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'd be happy with Mads Mikkelsen, though, for sure.
I'd rather see Benedict Cumberbatch play a young Voldemort. I think that would be better.
I mean, I guess. Why do we need a young Voldemort?
We don't. We absolutely don't. But I'm just saying, if we're casting Benedict Cumberbatch as anyone, that's who I'd say.
I actually want to see Benedict Cumberbatch as a young Buckbeak. I think that would be interesting. He's played Smaug already. You could get him crawling around on the ground in the green screen.
I need more Benedict Cumberbatch in green screen roaring content.
There's a quote out there somewhere of him in the special features where he's like, "Yeah, I actually fractured my larynx while performing Smaug," and it's like,
I do remember that.
Good for you, buddy, that you were laying on the ground, slithering around
he roared so hard that he broke his larynx. He committed to the dragon roll.
It's so stupid. All right. Well, the next thing we're going to talk about, we're going to stay in the world of fandom and talk about James Bond. There's a new 007 around. Her name is Lashana Lynch. Maria Rambeau herself is going to be in the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die. Don't be afraid, though. Okay? She's not James Bond, but at the end of Spectre, James Bond goes away. He goes off and has a happy ending. So he won't have a happy. He clearly there's another movie. He doesn't get the happy ending.
Happy ending.
The point is he goes away, clearly gives up that mantle of 007, and it appears like Lashana Lynch will be the new 007 who somehow pulls Bond back into the story for Craig's final film as Bond. This is cool. Sure, it makes sense story-wise. If we're going with the story where he's actually retired, he actually goes away. I think I don't know if I'm crazy or if I am making this up, but I feel like I read somewhere that this movie takes place like 5 years after Spectre, which would make sense because it was going to have originally come out 5 years after Spectre. So that would make sense. And if that's the case, this totally makes sense. He's a retired agent. He's off doing whatever, and he has to get pulled back into the action because of something, but he's no longer a 00. She has taken that spot. I think this is cool. I think this movie, I'm not the biggest James Bond fan, but having just rewatched all the movies, I think this new one's going to be really good. The context of like the trailers now make me really, really excited. And there's just like a lot of like badass ladies in this movie. And I'm really looking forward to that. Like Lashana Lynch being here, Ana de Armas making an appearance in here. I'm very excited about her being in the movie. And then Naomi Harris back as Moneypenny. She looks like she's going to have some action as well. And then Lea Seydoux is back as well. She doesn't look like she's going to have as much action to do, but I just like all the ladies being in the movie. They're going to be fun and exciting, and Bond looks like he's actually going to have he's going to be like the one on the lower side of things this time, which is good. So Maggie, I'll go to you next. How do you feel about Lashana Lynch being in this film and being the new 00?
I'll say I'm fine with her being in the film. I don't know. I honestly have mixed feelings. I kind of wish that they didn't leak this information. I wish we kind of just found out when we saw the movie. But granted, if we had seen it when it was supposed to come out, we wouldn't have known this going into it. I'm happy to see her kick ass, and I hope that her and Ana de Armas do, and I think that they will. I am interested to see what it means for the franchise, if anything at all. Like, I was just reading this article that you sent Tim in her interview, and it sounds like she's being super vague about the possibility for the future, but the fact that she is already being, like, attacked online for being the new 007 hints to me that the studio probably does want her to continue carrying the franchise. But I don't know about that. I don't know. It just all seems very vague and unsure, and I just wish the movie would come out is basically how I feel about that. But I'm happy to see women take over this franchise because it's the worst, really. You can't watch a single one of these movies. Like, I really tried. Tim was watching some of the Brosnan ones, and I couldn't do it because they are just so insulting. So
she walked in during the shower scene in GoldenEye, and that was
I've seen them all before, but it was still like, I blocked this out of my memory for a reason. So, yeah.
This just in, use Bond on the wheel against Maggie
No,
Brzakala.
we don't bring that up.
Okay. Nick.
Yeah.
You love James Bond.
I was raised a Bond fan. I've always been a Bond fan. Like, I sort of forgot about it, and then I refound it.
I knew this is what you were doing, you piece of shit.
I kind of fucking hate Bond too, if I'm being honest. I genuinely like probably like 40% of these, if I'm being like generous. Like the Dalton ones are great. Like half the Brosnan ones I like a lot. The Craig ones are obviously really good. I was really pissed when I heard this news until you just sort of explained it, because I was with Maggie in that I wouldn't want them to have leaked this, but I thought the way I read the article, I thought it was talking about like the end of the movie. Retires for good at the end of the movie, and then Lashana Lynch takes over and then carries the franchise from there. And I was like, well, that's something I would have liked to seen in the movie. But if this is how the movie is starting, interesting. Also, still probably would have wanted to see it in the movie itself. Lashana, maybe I'm just ignorant and haven't seen her in anything else, but the only thing I know her from is Captain Marvel. And if you had been like, hey, she's going to be the new James Bond just based on that one performance, or James 007 just based on that performance, I would have been like, that's weird. But she looks good in the trailers. And all the good things I have said about this, I will take back if there is a scene where Daniel Craig and Lashana Lynch are standing together, and Ralph Fiennes says, "Hey, 007," and they both turn and say, "Yeah," just like
totally gonna happen.
It's
just like in Kingsman when they're like Galahad, and they're both like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Shut up, just shut up."
That will happen. Now that you've said it, it will happen.
I'm very aware.
Koho, what is your take on the whole No Time to Die 007 situation?
I have no issue with Lashana Lynch. My issue with this story is that I've seen this. It's called Skyfall. Like, we're opening with Bond not being Bond and then coming back and relearning Bond. That was Skyfall. And it was really good in Skyfall. It's just I don't know if I want to see Daniel Craig do that again, per se. I know they're probably going to change it up enough where it's like, oh, he wasn't shot off a train and whatever this time. This time he went on his own volition. But it's like, I already watched Bond do this style story, and I'm not entirely interested in revisiting it. To be fair, Skyfall is my favorite one, so cool. If they're going to borrow a lot of elements for it, sure. It's just, I don't know. It feels really weird that we're doing a similar thing with Craig twice in one 5-movie stretch. I think Lashana Lynch is going to be dope. I'm excited for Ana de Armas because she's my favorite part of Knives Out, so I'm super excited that she's in this. I think she's going to be great. I'm kind of excited for No Time to Die. I'm just not. I just don't love that. That's what we're doing with Bond at the start again.
This is the third. It'll be the third time because what you just
Thunderball also, right?
No, Paul Solace. He retires at the end of Casino.
You're right. This will be the third time they do this with Daniel Craig.
He just keeps trying to leave, and they keep bringing him back.
Well, he retires at the end of Casino Royale, but then comes back again at the end of Casino Royale.
He comes back at the end of Quantum. Well, he comes back because at the end of Quantum of Solace, Judi Dench is like, "Oh, I need you to come back," and he's like, "I never left," but like he left.
Well, yeah, he left because she was like, "You can't do this, Bond," and he was like, "Actually, I'm going." Yeah, like this is a recurring thing with Daniel Craig. Yeah, it's almost like all these movies are the same.
I know, but the thing is, at least I'll say this: all the old movies are not very good, but they were all different enough in what Bond was doing, where it was like, sure, maybe it's the same structure, but at the end of the day, he fights Blofeld, cool. But, like, it's not Bond's retired, and now he's back. And Bond's retiring again, and now he's back. And Bond's retiring again, now he's back. In, like, 5 movies. Like, it feels like they have one idea of what to do with Daniel Craig, and they're doing it 5 times. And I'm kind of over it.
Retire the character, because it's tired and old.
I also agree. I also agree. I want a new spy. I'm done with Bond.
Ethan Hunt is available.
I know. He's my favorite.
I love him. And all the Mission Impossibles.
All right. Mission Impossible 2 is garbage. Okay, let's move on to the next story. Let's talk about A Quiet Place, another movie we were supposed to have seen already. As Koho says, lots more Quiet Places to go. A Quiet Place came out in 2018, I believe, spring of 2018. The movie slaps. Maggie and I saw it in the theater. Surprisingly, very respectful audience of the quietness. I was ready to yell at lots of children, but we had a very good time. We've since watched it on Blu-ray, and it's awesome. Second one was supposed to come out in March. It didn't. When is it coming out now?
April.
Is that true? It's coming out this April? Okay, cool. Well, we're getting it in April, and we're also getting another spin-off, which is going to be from supposedly director Jeff Nichols, who, if you don't know who that is, he directed Take Shelter, Mud, Midnight Special, Loving, all those movies. I like Jeff Nichols fine. I think Mud is really good. Like, that's the movie that, like, started the McConaissance of, like, bringing back Matthew McConaughey as, like, an actual actor and not just, like, the guy you put in the romance movies. And Midnight Special and Loving were both fine to me. I know a lot of people really like Midnight Special. I thought it was fine. I think Loving is actually kind of really boring and not very good. But him taking on A Quiet Place movie, sure. I think Krasinski is on as like a producer and a writer. Sure. I don't know what this is going to be. It's hard to know when we haven't seen the second movie yet. But Nick, I'll start with you. Have you seen the first one? And are you interested to get a lot more from the Quiet Place world?
I have seen the first one. I saw it twice in the theaters. One of the times, everyone was really respectful. Second time, there was a kid, and about 3 minutes into the movie, I turned around and said, "See that? That's going to happen to you if you don't shut up." No, I'm just kidding. It didn't happen. No, I did actually see it twice in the theater, and I actually am a huge fan. Like, I don't like horror. A Quiet Place sort of got me. A Quiet Place and Don't Breathe were the two movies that sort of made me go, like, okay, maybe there is some horror that, like, I might like out there. The very first thing I wanted, this story is cool. I don't want a second one. And I might be in the minority there, and I saw the trailer for it. I don't really want a second Quiet Place with Emily Blunt just to, like, follow. And from the trailers, it's, like, past also, like, when they initially arrived, and then cut with scenes from the future and how Emily Blunt and the family is doing. The coolest thing I thought they could have done after A Quiet Place is be like, okay, here's this same universe, this same world, and here are other people's stories and how they've dealt with it and things like that. That's what I thought was cool. So I'm excited to hear that it's happening. I just think it should have happened before. Even if you still wanted to call it A Quiet Place 2, I think this is what we should have been doing, assuming that this is what they mean by a spinoff, and it's not going to be like at the end of A Quiet Place 2, the mom dies, and the daughter then cocks a shotgun, and now A Quiet Place 3 is the spinoff of the daughter kicking ass. So I'm excited. I saw Midnight Special. I thought it was okay. You said another movie in there that
Loving, probably. That was an Oscar, big Oscar movie. Mud?
No.
Take Shelter? Or is it Gimme Shelter?
Maybe I'm just lying to everyone, and I didn't see another one.
Loving was a very big Oscar movie in 2016.
I remember it with, like,
Ruth Negga.
Ruth Negga. Yeah, I remember that. I just didn't see it. So, sure, I would want John Krasinski to direct again, just because I really do love the first one. It was one of my favorite movies in the year it was released. So, yeah, a lot of hesitation, but lots of excitement as well.
Koho, what do you think?
I mean, now that I follow Nick, I'm going to sound like I'm just saying everything he said again, but so I'll just say retweet. I really kind of wanted this to just be the new Cloverfield, where it was just like they would just make another one that was, like, set in that world, and it was just tangentially somehow would tie back into A Quiet Place, and everything would kind of just be in that world. I'm cool with A Quiet Place too. The trailer was cool. I'll watch it. Like, now there's like a 3 and a spinoff, and now we're going to get a lot of it. And so I'll probably see all of it unless like 2 is trash. But I don't know. I don't really have any opinions on Jeff Nichols. So sure, I guess make one. I don't really care. I'll see them. I would rather they all be like the spinoff where it's like not exactly directly related to the last one.
I can say that there were screenings of A Quiet Place Part 2 before quarantine hit because critics saw the movie in preparation for it to come out like the second week of March, and the reviews were incredible. There was only good things that I read, one of them being from Frosty over at Collider, and he basically said, "This is a movie you will want to watch in the theater, so be patient."
Valid.
Be patient and see it in the theater. Maggie, your thoughts on A Quiet Place, and is this a spooker that you are excited for?
I mean, yeah, I'm always excited for a good horror movie. I don't really have any new opinions to give other than the ones that were already given. I guess that I'm a little sad that everything just has to turn into like a money-grabbing franchise, because like when you tell me that they made a sequel and now they're doing a spinoff and they're planning a third one, and it's just like, can't we just have a good movie be a good movie and let people do other things? But as long as it's good, I will be willing to see it. So,
all right. Well, let's go to the next story, which is, guys, let's be honest. This is the news everyone was waiting for.
Speaking of money-grabbing franchises.
You shut your mouth, madam. Gerard Butler is back. The night has fallen. When Angel wasn't enough. When London was saved. And Olympus didn't fall either. Michael Banning is back in the 4th film to make sure shit still doesn't fall. And I'm in love with it, frankly. This series is so stupid. The first film, Olympus, is really fun. I think it's actually, because that's Fuqua, right? He directed that, I think. Mm-hmm. I think that movie's really fun. The second and the third one, the second one especially, is really bad. And the third one is pretty bad, but still entertaining because they bring in his dad, and that's like really dumb and stupid, but really fun. I like this franchise, but yeah, no one asked for this. No one cares about this at all. But I will see it. Nick, you look confused as fuck. What's going on?
Well, here's the thing. I've never seen any of these.
Oof.
You're telling me that in the plot of the films is that he stops these things from falling.
Well, not necessarily. Well, kind of. A little bit.
The first two, yes. The first two, yes.
But the titles indicate that they fell already.
Well, so like the first one's the White House, and the code name is Olympus. Yeah. And so when they come in and they capture the president, they're like, Olympus has fallen. To be like, the White House
then
is taken over.
Then he has to make the president unfall. He has to
rescue
the president.
Back up.
Okay, here's my second question. Do all 3 of these films take place during the day of one day? Because how is the night not fallen yet?
That is interesting as well. I don't know what night refers to in this title.
Not with a K. That would have been more.
Exactly. That would have been like the last night, like Transformers. No. No. Yeah, I don't know what
Robert
night.
Pattinson shows up. Night has fallen.
Yes. No, I don't know. I don't know what the word night refers to, because Olympus was the White House, London was the city, and Angel was the president. Or no, Angel was him.
Angel was him.
He was the angel.
Yeah,
because they thought that he was framed for assassinating the president, for attempting assassination.
I was going to say the president did not die,
so he was the angel, and they say the president's angel has fallen, and everyone went, "What?"
But he saved the president
twice.
How do these Gerard Butler?
It's a different president.
Oh, okay.
It's no longer Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart was the president in the first 2. Morgan Freeman's the president in the 3rd one.
I'm very confused how these Gerard Butler like world-ending movies keep making money, because isn't there that one? It's called like Fragment or Greenland or something.
Greenland, and it's not coming to theaters anymore.
Okay, well
it's
that
coming to like Amazon Prime or some bullshit.
Geostorm happened. Like you literally
Phantom of the Opera. Like, what is this?
I'm so confused how these like paint by numbers Gerard Butler things falling action movies keep happening.
Let me tell you something about Geostorm. Okay, I saw that movie in 3D in the theater, and it was the greatest 2 hours of my life. If I'm gonna watch a generic like bullshit action movie, at least Gerard Butler is like trying in the movies. Like he's at least like doing a thing. Whereas like nowadays when you get like Bruce Willis, he's just like, yes, I am going to shoot you now. Boom. And then it's like boring. But like Gerard Butler's running around and being a fucking badass. So Maggie, you looked like you did not agree with that statement.
Well, no, I was just going to say in terms of like franchises, or not franchises, but action movie genre based around an actor that just won't die. Would you rather take a Gerard Butler action movie or a Liam Neeson action movie?
Gerard Butler.
Really? Okay.
Only because Liam Neeson is starting to phone it in. What's the one?
I thought you just said his last one was like.
I'm trying to remember what Honest Thief.
Honest Thief, yeah,
is what it's called. It's playing in your local theaters right now. Go check it out. The movie's not good, and he's like pretty bad in it. He's starting to. He's doing the same thing. He's not even trying to do like an American accent. They're like, "Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Montana, but I sound like I'm from Ireland." Like, I don't know. Like, I'll take Gerard Butler. I don't fucking know. Koho, your parents love these movies. I know that.
I was gonna say, I have not seen any of these. I own all 3 of these because my parents fucking love these movies, and I don't know why. But every time my parents go, the next one's out, we're going opening night. You want to come with? And each time I go, I haven't seen the last one, Ma, so I'll pass. I definitely have no opinion. But while Tim was talking, for some reason, I thought Geostorm was the hurricane heist. And I almost said that my AMC, my GM, installed a doorbell on our staff door to where we had to go clock in. And it was Rock You Like a Hurricane for the entire 3 months. And I wanted to die after the first day because I was sick of the song.
Hurricane Heist, also fantastic film starring Toby Kebbell. Okay, let's move on to the final story of the day. We'll actually talk about something that's supposed to be good. This is all for Nick. Mank, the new David Fincher film. It's getting some love. It's coming to theaters soon and on Netflix in December. And the reviews are spectacular. Say it's one of Fincher's best, and that Gary Oldman is astounding in the film, as well as most of the supporting cast, and that his direction is just one to behold. What can you expect? You can't expect anything less. The last few Fincher movies, for me, honestly, have all been like great. Gone Girl is probably my second favorite, to be honest. I love Gone Girl. I really like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and Social Network is a masterpiece. I feel like I'm missing one in there, or is that it?
Before that was Zodiac, but that's it.
And Benjamin Button was before that, or was after that. But anyway, so I'm on board. I totally in love with this. Nick, Fincher's your favorite director, is that correct?
This is correct. Yep.
Yeah, so the reviews get you more excited?
Sure. I feel like I make Koho feel bad sometimes. And I don't mean to, buddy. I love that you love a thing. Just because I don't love the thing as well doesn't make your love of it any less valuable. I could not care less about the Oscars and what people say will be good for the Oscars anymore. And so on its base level, it excites me that people have seen the movie and they like it. Because I plan on seeing the movie and hope to like it. The last time I remember seeing Gary Oldman in a new movie was when he played Winston Churchill and he knocked it out of the park. So I think the last time I was on this show was when the news sort of like.
I think it was when the pictures first came out.
Yeah. And I was like raving. I'm like, dude, I love David Fincher. I love all this cast. I'm very excited about story. I love movies about how movies were made. All that is still very true. This news doesn't make me any more or less excited because at the end of the day, it's just people whose opinions might be the same as mine or might be different than mine who have seen a movie and liked it, which is cool. I'm very happy for them, but I would like to see it for myself.
Maggie, what do you think? Are you excited for Mank?
Yeah, I mean, I just looked up what the synopsis was, and it sounds like something I can get behind. I like Gary Oldman a lot. With me. Did I?
Yes.
I believe you. I just don't recall. I really like Gary Oldman, and I like David Fincher for the most part too. Like, I really love Gone Girl as well, and The Social Network is very good, and Zodiac's very good. So I'm sure it will be just lovely. And yeah.
Okay. Koho, will Fincher finally win Best Director for Mank?
I don't think so. I won't rule it out entirely because obviously career Oscars are things that they love to give. But this is set to be maybe the most diverse Best Director race in Oscars history. This wasn't necessarily news to me, but that's just because I fucking live the race. As soon as the Oscars are done, I start looking at the next one. So this is my Super Bowl. I've said it a million times. The Oscars is my favorite thing that happens every year. I love to track it. And Mank is going to get a lot of love and a lot of nominations. It's going to be a thing. David Fincher's late dad wrote the script. His dad is the sole credited writer on the movie, and that is going to get a nomination. There's a lot that you can nominate for this movie. I think Fincher is a candidate. He's going to get nominated. He's a candidate to win. But it's hard when the race that you're up against includes the first Asian American woman to ever be nominated for the award in Chloe Zhao and the first African American woman to ever be nominated for with Regina King. Like, those are the two favorites to win right now. So it's going to be a great race. It's going to be a really fun race because right now the front runner changes every other week. Because right now Nomadland's on top. Next week when whenever Mank comes out, that could explode.
I think they come out the same weekend.
Like, it's going to be insane. One night Miami could steal everything. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom could steal everything. Like, and we still don't have Soul. Like, there's so much that's still yet to come out. And that's my favorite time in the Oscar race, when anything can when anything can happen as we get to round number 2 of the race. But I right now Mank is the favorite. But I'm just really excited that we're getting back into Oscar season, and it's a longer Oscar season. So
you said something to me. The Oscars are in April, right?
April this year. They pushed them back.
Yeah. So there's something that you said that actually has nothing to do with this film that got me very excited. Imagine this. This is just me wishing on a dream. Soul comes to Disney Plus December 25th. The movie is clearly going to be amazing because it's by the best Pixar director except for Up. And sorry, Nick.
Get fucked, Nick.
Monsters Inc. is my favorite movie. I didn't know if you knew that. Soul comes out. It's amazing. Everyone loves it. It's nominated for Best Picture.
That's actually being predicted right now. Fun fact.
Then February comes. The Oscars are really heating up. Soul is released in theaters to help promote it for Oscars. Drop the ball.
Boom. Here's the thing, though. I thought you were going to take it a step further and say it's the first animated movie to win Best Picture.
Oh, sure.
There are actually a lot of outside shots that could happen on Soul right now. That is like a heavy favorite to get a nomination if they do 10. And that's the big thing with Oscars right now. How many are they going to nominate in COVID year? And that's what everyone doesn't know. I wouldn't be shocked if they actually did a full 10. It's a really good year. So,
as long as the old guard and Hubie Halloween get nominated.
Netflix has 5 of the projected Best Picture nominees right now. They have 5.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Okay,
one of them is.
This isn't the co-Oscars. We're done.
I'm sorry.
I let you go
You're
on
like
long
a poster, Koho.
I let you go on long enough.
Thing.
I know. All right, guys, I think that's the show. Maggie just sent me a photo. Oh, it's a doggo. Very cute. Okay. That's the show. Thank you for joining us. This has been a lovely time. We'll be back next week with more news or something else. I don't know. We might all be dead by then. Who fucking knows at this point? But in the meantime, there's not a new fan zone this week, but there is more in the world of movie Warzone. There's another mix-up match coming on Thursday. Then on Friday in Warzone, you're getting 2 singles matches to work towards the singles picture. Cameron Redshaw is playing Antonio Chavez, and Cameron Holtzman is playing
Matt Queller again.
Matt Queller, yes, the rematch. So that's what's going on in Warzone. What's going on in Fandom, Koho?
It's the semifinals. We've done it. We are at the semifinals of our tournament this weekend. Wookiee Mistake versus America's Asses Big Guns versus Schizo. Those are our 2 matches going up this weekend. Next weekend will be the finals and a singles number 1 contenders match.
I'm not looking forward to that. I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna vomit.
Nick, your next challenger is on this call.
Woo!
As they say in the cruise.
Yes, and then 2X Trivia Night will be back on Sunday. You're doing something kind of special, right? This week?
Oh yeah,
Champs Week,
but also I have to ask if all the champs are available. Otherwise, I might have Dario come play in a mask again. So,
and then Your List Sucks tomorrow is an all Kingsman episode for best movie characters.
God. Who's on?
It is myself, Kaleb Boatman, Cameron Redshaw, and Cameron Holtz.
hosted by Cody
Newberry is alone with the Kingsman.
The host of the show. He will destroy you all. And then
he said the word. I submitted the last list to him, which was Boatman's, and he messages back and he goes, "Well, it's an all Kingsman episode." And his next words were, "Fucking kill me." So it's gonna be fun. And
then Miscellaneous is also going to be back on Monday. Also on Monday, there's a new episode of Jukebox Playlist that'll be uploaded to the podcast channel. So be on the lookout for that. As we get ready for the end of the season, there's a lot of stuff going on. So keep your eyeballs peeled, guys. Okay, lots going on. Nick, your eyes need to stay closed. They're still there. Okay.
I'm sorry,
guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week. Same time, same bat channel. Grab a Michelob Ultra. Kiss your loved ones. And don't drive and tweet.
You're still here? It's over.
She's out of our hair. And just when I dare to care, she says, au contraire, you're my pair of friends. I love you.
Keep it together, man.